Hello, Iman. So I'm Saber Ammar. I'm an environmental engineer and climate action from Tunisia. Now I'm working as a project manager of Resilient Cities with Tunisian Youth Impact Association and a member of Stop Pollution movement. I think as an environmental activist, we all try to fight the pollution happening in all the world, not only in our country. But as a citizen from Gafsa, I think I born and raised in a city in the mining region in Tunisia, where I see in my own eyes the pollution caused by the phosphate company. My fellow from the movement of Stop Pollution are struggling from 15 years pollution and devastating by the group of chemical industry, the group Chimique, and all the activists in all the world are fighting the pollution and fighting the consequences of climate change, especially in the global south, where we struggle the most. We had the chance to be in the climate camp, the climate justice camp in Nabil, where we meet other activists from all around the world. We share our experiences as environmental movements. We share our experience, our struggle against the industrial pollution caused by either extraction industry, etc. For the climate camp in Gabis, I think it's an opportunity to advocate for the pollution caused by the chemical groups of Tunisia, and to highlight the environmental issue in the sea and in the ecosystem happening there for more than 50 years. As a climate activist, we advocate for the climate justice. You know, as a global South citizen, we are the country with the least CO2 emissions, the least greenhouse gas emissions, but we suffered the most consequences of climate change. We see the floods, the hurricanes, we see the consequences of drought in Africa, the water scarcity. I think these are the consequences of climate change, but we do not cause the global warming. The developed country are the responsible for the global warming, and it's unfair that we struggle and there is lots of people who are suffering so far. That's why we are trying to advocate for this injustice, and we try to make the developing country to pay their share and to take responsibility for their action for centuries. I think my expectation for the politician and the world leaders are always either too late or too little. And the most important thing, I always consider that these COPs are better than nothing. And I highly expect that the developed country pay the loss and damage, help to transfer the knowledge for the African countries and all the countries in the south, to help them to go to the energy transition, to facilitate them the climate finance, and to help them to build resilience and adaptation infrastructure to deal with the consequences of climate change. But unfortunately, as a climate activist, I didn't participate in COP before. I think the COP being in Egypt is a mistake, because the dictator regime there are not allowed to the activists to protest, and this is, I think it's an issue. I know lots of climate activists from many countries are struggling to get a visa to get to Egypt. Also, our fellow activists from Egypt are afraid from protesting, because the regime and the politics there, they don't have freedom of speech, they don't have the right to protest. And I think this is some kind, if we could say it, a climate washing. Like the greenwashing, there is a climate washing. I don't believe that the regime there will do something about the climate or care the climate. Ironically, the sponsor of COP27 is one of the most polluting company, Coca-Cola, and this is so ironic. We could see that there is no hope from these COP, but again, it's better than nothing. I really hope that we see serious action. We don't have lots of time. The most important thing that there is people who are dying and suffering while we are talking right now. We see the floods in Pakistan, we see the horrible consequences of drought in Kenya. We have a water scarcity in the whole MENA region, and we don't have the luxury of waiting for COP27, COP28, etc. I think we need to see serious action. I really hope that we see an advance in facilitation in climate finance. I really hope that the people, the leaders go for the loss and damage finance. So basically the camp in Gibbs is about highlighting how many we're gonna still suffer from the pollution. It's been 50 years now, and we need to take this issue seriously. The Tunisian government should take serious measures to stop the pollution in the sea and the Oasis ecosystem. Also, people are suffering from many sickness and diseases caused by this pollution, the air pollution. I think this is the main reason why we're doing the climate camp in Gabes, but also because we need to environmental movement in Tunisia. We need to unify, and we're gonna launch the Climate Action Tunisia Network. It's a coalition from many movements like Youth for Climate, Fridays for Future, Stop Pollution, Manishem Sub. Many movements are going to do a coalition to make a unified road to a chart, and we need to go to to push as much we can and to protest day and night, to push the Tunisian government to do the climate diplomacy, to work on mitigation measures and adaptation measures, and to build the resilience and the resistance above the climate change consequences. As a youth, we need to be more engaged politically. If we're gonna solve the climate issue, the migration issue, any issue, it's all about politics. We need to be more engaged, to be more authentic, and try to push our governments to work better. We need a democratic regime in our country if we're gonna tackle even the environmental issue, even the climate issue. So yeah, be more engaged.